Chapter 3, Understanding Consumer Decision Making. Part 1, Consumer Decision Making Process. Introduction. Okay, so to be able to implement the marketing concept, which remember is all about customer needs, we first need to understand what those needs and wants are. Here you can see an image of some consumers thinking about various needs. So how consumers respond to a firm's marketing strategies is ultimately the test if those strategies are successful or not. If they buy the products, they're successful. If they don't buy the products, the marketing strategies are not successful. If the consumers respond favorably and buy the product in enough quantities, then the firm has done a very good job in developing a marketing strategy that actually appeals to consumers' needs. So information about consumers and how and why they make their buying decisions will help marketers define the market that they want to serve and identify various opportunities and threats in the market. Okay, so we assume that buyers, within reason, know all the relevant facts of the various products. Within reason, they know most of the facts related to the products that they buy. And we also assume that they logically, in other words, they use their minds to compare the different choices of products in terms of the cost, how much it costs for the product, and what value they're getting from the products. So as you can see in that image, that lady is comparing those two products. She's reading the labels, she's looking at the price probably as well, and she's comparing what is she getting for the different prices, which one has the most value and is the best for her. And we assume this as well, that consumers don't have enough money to buy everything that they want. Okay, so this lady, she can't buy both those products because she doesn't have enough money. She needs to choose one. So that's the last assumption we make, that consumers don't have money to buy everything that they want, so they have to choose. Okay, so what's the importance of understanding consumer behavior? Consumers' product and service preferences, okay, the things that they prefer, and their buying patterns, in other words, that which they buy most often, are changing. They're constantly changing. What they buy, where they buy, what they like, what they don't like, it changes often. As you can see, this man here is wondering about the different brands. Therefore, marketing managers must have a very good knowledge, a thorough knowledge, a wide knowledge, and understanding of consumer behavior, the behavior of consumers, how they behave. Okay, here we go. Consumer behavior is how consumers make purchase decisions, how they go about buying products, and how they use those products and then dispose or get rid of those products and services. For example, in South Africa, when small business owners buy electronic devices like cell phones, something that's most important to them is how easy it is to use. That's what they look for first. Then they look for something that's dependable, that's not going to break, and lastly they look at product quality. Whereas maybe teenagers would look at something different other than ease of use. So that's typical consumer behavior understanding. If marketers know that, they know how to appeal to small businesses. The study of consumer behavior by marketers is aimed at, number one, understanding consumer behavior, predicting what are consumers going to do in the future, and then obviously influencing consumer behavior, getting them to buy your product instead. And there we can see a man's head and everything that's going on inside it regarding products and services, marketers want to get into that mind to understand how consumers think, how they make their decisions regarding products and services. Okay, so marketers rely on a large amount of social science data, information that's generated by psychologists, sociologists, and industrial psychologists. It's data that they gather, which marketers then use to try and understand consumers. This information equips marketers with a range of concepts, models, and techniques to help them, because sociology and psychology have developed various techniques to help them understand people's behavior. Now, marketers just lend from psychologists and sociologists. They even lend some of their models, and then they apply it to consumers. Okay, so this is a model of consumer behavior, which is a model that was kind of adapted from psychology and sociology. And as you can see on the top left, we have something called individual factors. Those are all external. These are things that influence the consumer's decision making. Things like how they perceive products, what motivates them, what they have learned and how quickly they learn, their values, beliefs and attitude, their personality, their lifestyle. Those all influence their choices of products. Then in the middle we see social factors. These are things outside of the consumer. Things like culture. Reference groups are things like their sports club or their church group or religious organization. Their opinion leaders, these are people they trust and that they look up to. Family members, and of course their social class. Those social factors all influence their decision making. And then on the right we see the buying situation. In other words, everything that has to do with the specific need that they have, the purchase reason. Why are they looking for a product? When do they buy that product? And what's happening inside the store when they are wanting to buy? All those things affect what the consumer buys in the end. And those three things feed into what we call the consumer decision making process, which is a 5-step process that we're going to cover now. And once that consumer decision making process has kind of run its course, the consumer then decides to buy or not to buy. We're going to have a look at that now.